Let's talk about this Vanity Fair piece that has exploded all over the place. All weekend long, I had people in my inbox sending it to me. I'm like, you guys,
Yeah,
I saw this a long time ago.
yeah, yeah.
Um, but a pretty powerful piece, I guess, if you have been curious as to what's been going on with the Sussexes, or if you're looking for some sort of scale as to the amount of success the Sussexes have achieved over the last almost 5 years now.
Mm.
Um, is there any piece that stood out to you? I've said this a couple of times already, but when I walked away from it, I was embarrassed to be like, the biggest takeaway for me was that Beyonce potentially declined the podcast. There are so many bigger stories within that piece, but to me, it was like, oh, Beyonce didn't want to do a podcast. What stood out
Mm.
to you?
Well, I think it's clearly been very well researched. The journalist in question has obviously spent a lot of time speaking to numerous sources, some who have gone on record, the majority, as you might expect, have not. I mean, I think it's pretty damning for Harry and Meghan. I mean, when you consider that Vanity Fair was the magazine that sort of launched Meghan as Harry's new girlfriend, that Wild About Harry front page cover story that was, so positive for her. For 5 years on, at a point where you might expect the couple to be the toast of Tinseltown, to be producing brilliant content with this multi-million-dollar deal. In fact, one of the things they say in Vanity Fair is that it's not the $100 million deal, which is the figure put out there. But rest assured, it's a big multi-million-dollar deal they've got. You would expect, I think, them to be having much more of an impact, creating award-winning content, really having Archwell and their philanthropic platform exploding on a global level. And I think the feeling is that they just haven't lived up to expectations. And, coming from Vanity Fair, which is, I think, always very fair. I mean, I would say that, and listen, I just full disclosure, I work for Vanity Fair. I'm their royal correspondent, but, it is always top quality journalism. It's impartial, it's balanced, it's well researched. For the Sussexes to come out of a piece like this, the way they have, I think, well, they must be, well, I would imagine deeply, deeply disappointed.